So if an alien spaceship dropped off a creature with no bones, a decentralized brain, and literal invisibility cloaking, you'd probably think it was from a sci-fi movie.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it sounds like complete fiction,
Right.
but it's actually just an octopus.
Right. Welcome to today's deep dive, everyone. We are pulling from a really wide range of sources today, from aquarium guides to some heavily detailed spectral research data.
Yeah, and our mission is to basically unpack how octopuses thrive using three main traits, which are their boneless physical structure, their decentralized brain, and their seemingly impossible camouflage.
It's wild stuff, and it all really starts with the physical mechanics of a creature with zero bones.
Exactly. I mean, they rely entirely on what's called a hydrostatic skeleton. It's this fluid-filled muscle system that's just under constant water pressure.
So instead of hinges and dense bones like we have, it's think of it like a heavy-duty water balloon wrapped in a tightly woven net of muscles.
That's a great analogy, actually, because when those muscles squeeze one section of the fluid, it forces another section to become incredibly rigid.
Wow.
Yeah, and that targeted pressure gives them enough mechanical leverage to pry apart a hard clamshell.
But at the same time, because there's no fixed structural limitation like a skeleton, a massive octopus can literally pour itself through a gap that's barely an inch wide.
An inch wide, which is perfect to escape a predator or just ambush prey in tight crevices.
Right. But moving a body with, infinite degrees of freedom, where literally any part of an arm can bend in any direction at any moment, that requires serious computational power.
It really does. They have roughly 500 million neurons, which actually puts them on par with a dog.
Wait, really? A dog?
Yeah, but instead of routing every single decision through a central brain, 2/3 of those neurons are physically distributed down their arms.
So it's a totally decentralized network. The arms are actively tasting the environment and making their own independent decisions about how to move or grip.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which completely explains how they manage to solve complex puzzles or, recognize individual human faces.
Or use tools, like carrying around discarded coconut shells across the seafloor for a mobile shelter. But logically, this doesn't add up for me.
How so?
Well, building that level of intelligence usually takes a really long time, evolutionary speaking. But octopuses only live for 1 to 3 years.
Oh, right.
So how do they cram a lifetime of complex learning into such a tiny window?
Well, recent neurobiological studies point to high concentrations of what we call jumping genes, or transposons, in their brain.
Jumping genes.
Yeah, so instead of relying on slow evolutionary mutation, these genetic sequences can physically cut and paste themselves into different parts of the genome in real time.
That is insane.
Right. They rapidly rewire the brain's neural networks, allowing the octopus to adapt and learn at just a wildly accelerated pace.
So you take that rapid neural rewiring and you pair it with the physical flexibility of the hydrostatic skeleton, and you get their ultimate survival trick, which is their camouflage.
Well, the camouflage is incredible. They can perfectly mimic a rock and just inch seamlessly across the sand.
And the mechanics behind that are just mind-bending. Their skin is packed with chromatophores, right?
Yep. Tiny sacs of pigment attached to radial muscles. When the nervous system fires, those muscles contract and pull the sacs wide open.
So they just flood the skin with color in milliseconds.
Exactly. And they combine those with iridophores, which reflect ambient light, and leucophores, which scatter it.
Making a perfect 3D illusion of their environment. But the spectral data research we looked at highlights a bizarre paradox here.
Ah, the color blindness.
Yes. Octopuses regularly and perfectly match the specific colors of brown algae or green sponges to hide from visual predators like Heller's barracudas or wedge-tailed shearwaters. But they only have one type of visual pigment.
Meaning they are completely colorblind.
Right, so how does a colorblind creature match colors?
So, to solve this, scientists looked at their unusual U-shaped pupils, which exploit something called chromatic aberration.
Okay, break that down for us.
Basically, because of that unique shape, their eye acts kind of like a prism. It splits incoming light into different wavelengths or colors.
Okay.
And because different wavelengths hit the retina at slightly different depths, the octopus physically changes the shape of its eye to bring a specific wavelength into sharp focus.
While the other colors remain blurry.
Exactly.
So instead of actually seeing the color green, they physically adjust their eyes until they find the specific optical blur associated with green light.
Yep. And then they trigger their chromatophores to match it. They are literally feeling the color by focusing on it.
That completely upends our understanding of biology. I mean, it proves that advanced intelligence and environmental mastery don't require a spinal cord or a traditional centralized brain at all.
No, not at all. Nature has clearly engineered multiple, wildly different blueprints for cognition.
It really leaves you with something to chew on today. If a creature with a lifespan of just a couple of years can evolve independent thinking limbs, instant genetic rewiring, and the ability to process color through focus, what other entirely alien forms of intelligence might be hiding in the deepest unexplored parts of our oceans?
The aliens are already here.
Exactly. We just need to dive a little deeper to find them.